Now it's time for the figure that started me on this incredibly bizarre adventure. Transformers Go Shinobi Team Sensuimaru, today on World of Stuff. Sensuimaru seems to cover the water component of this team, whereas Gekisumaru covered the land and the Hishimaru covered the air. And as you can see, he is a rather corpulent shark, or a shark submarine. Either way, it looks a little silly. But he does have a moving mouth. If that excites you. As we Sensuimaru's accessories, he has a couple. You start by pulling off the tail here, twisting this around for a throwing weapon. Yeah, it's silly, but you can do it. Additionally, his chest piece and kabuto stored on the bottom here. Yes, it's very nautical based. And, yeah, that actually one of the most impressive looking kabutos, at least in my opinion, anyway. Also, it has an extra joint here, mostly so it can add on to in other functions, but we'll get into that later. So you're now moving on to the rest of the transformation. Since we already did the two main components, we will fold out this piece here, that piece there. Next we'll disconnect this right here. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay. Next we'll disconnect that. Slide. Actually, we'll fold that part out. Gonna slide it in a little later. Disconnect and fold these two inward. Fold these two out for what will be the feet. Then we will these downward. Okay. Ah, yes. Then we will fold these out, twist this around, and twist this around for leg one. Yeah, that's a lot of kibble in between there. Not much you can do about that, but you can at least fold this in to make it much more manageable. Repeat with the other leg. Eventually. Okay. These thighs, it's a little hard to tell which way is the front end, but imagine the ends with the screw outside would be a much more sightly situation, so we'll go with that. Let's see here now, that, and that. And yes. Grr shark. Okay, moving on. Okay, we will then fold out this part right here. Yes, this fin is kind of a loose connection here, but they do connect together, so that's a neat bit of transformation there. Okay, move that down. Okay, fold out this. Eventually, there we go. Then we will come back here, disconnect, and fold that out, and yeah, that's it. Okay. All right, there we go. Sensuimaru in robot mode. Yeah, he's pretty odd, with the massive amount of leg there and the head on a back plate. Yeah, it's definitely one of the oddest looking ones, but it's serviceable, especially since he did transform into a shark. I know that there have been different shark transformers who transform very differently, but they weren't combiners like him. Anyway, you can indeed connect his combiner parts right there for that, and you can give him his weapon like so. So that's something. It's odd, but it's something. Okay, according to the instructions, this is how they recommend you have it. With this part right there, it does kind of help, but it's incredibly bizarre. I prefer to have it a little lower down, make things a little bit more, well, looks a bit better to me anyway. You can have it however you want. As for articulation, the head does rotate and go up and down. Shoulders on a ball joint, double jointed elbow. So now these fins are on their own little hinge joint, but not much you can do with them. So now the legs, vast majority of it. So now you can have this joint. So now, again, you have the double upper and lower thigh swivel along with the ratcheted joints. And well, due to the way that the assembly goes here, it's kind of odd moving his feet around, but you can do it. So, yeah, again, like the others, there is articulation to be had. It's just very strange. Okay, now we have the whole team together here. And, yeah, all three of these separately are peculiar enough. But when we get into the transformations for combined mode, because they all function essentially the same way, as I mentioned earlier, as both a pair of pants, a front or back torso, things are going to get weird. You might want to drink for that. Anyway, this is the Deceptive Wolf. These have been the Shinobi team in their individual modes. And boy, you have no idea what's coming next.